Okay, guys, let's begin with the end in mind. And I want to go immediately to the flip chart. And we're picking up from a conversation we had yesterday on building relationships through working our database. And what I mean by going to the end in mind, this is what the picture looks like when we've set up our database. All right. So I've got a database going from the outside in, because this is how people move. I start with haven't met. In other words, Juanita, I haven't met you yet. And I knock on your door. Hi, my name is John Dietz. I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty. The reason I stopped by today is a home in your neighborhood recently sold, which is great news. Just curious, who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home, right? Not exactly the script, but script. And what I'm leading to is, by the way, I like to keep my friends and family members updated on the market. Would it be okay if I added you to that group? Now, in order for you to become a lead, in order for you to move from haven't met to met, I need name, address, email, and phone number. So I've moved you to a new met. Now I'm going to communicate with you 8 times in 8 weeks. That's an 8x8, and hang in there because we're going to go deep on that in just a second. The goal of the 8x8 is to create top of mind. I want to have market share. I want them mind share. When they think of real estate, I want them to think of me. And the goal of the 8x8 is to move that relationship from a new met into my sphere of influence. The sphere of influence is anybody who knows you, likes you, and would potentially work with you. It includes family, friends, everybody that you know. Now, eventually, some of the people in this group will work with you. They'll buy a home, they'll sell a home, and they'll become a past client or a forever client. I like that better, or a client for life. And then a smaller group will be core advocates. These are people who are a part of your team, in essence, because they're telling everybody that they know how awesome you are. They're referral partners. In order for somebody to be an advocate, they have to give you a referral. So anybody that's referred a buyer or seller to you, they live in this group. They're an advocate. Now, you can take that a step further and create a core advocate group, and that's anybody who has sent you multiple referrals. I've shared my story with you of my friend Doug Fresh, who was a for sale by owner. I met with him, moved him into my database as a new met. He became part of my sphere of influence. He listed his house with me and sold it and moved to a past client or a forever client. And he just happened to be the director of sales for the largest assisted living facility on the west coast of Florida. And he would go on to give me a half a dozen referrals every year for the next 10 years. Is that a core advocate? Yes. Okay.
Wow.
Wow, right. I know. Yeah, didn't I get lucky? I did. All right, now let's go deep. 8x8. By the way, this is in here. If you don't have a copy of the Rainmaker, it's available on Amazon, and it's on page 18 and 19. Now, week 1, and this is just one example. Does it have to be exactly like this? No, it doesn't, but this works. Week 1, I'm going to snail mail my resume. It's just a bullet point list of who you are in order for somebody to be able to get to know you. Now, this is something you're going to update on a regular basis. In other words, the longer you're in real estate, of course, your resume is going to change because you've sold more houses. You have market data that you're going to share. In other words, part of my resume on the Dietz team was I list and sell an average of 10 homes every month. My listings are selling in an average of less than 30 days on the market for an average of 99% of the asking price. That was part of my resume. Now, if you're new to real estate and you don't have that personal resume, change I to we, and I'm part of Keller Williams Realty Corals in Coral Springs. Keller Williams is the largest real estate company in the world. Keller Williams sells more homes than any other real estate broker in the world. And our Keller Williams Coral Springs Market Center is one of the top real estate offices in South Florida. Make it about your team, we versus I. Now, don't overthink this. It's just a resume. Nobody's going to choose to hire you or not hire you because of the resume. This is just the first step to create top of mind. All right, week 2, I'm calling. I'm giving Aaron a call. And Aaron, John Dietz, following up as promised, just wanted to check in and see if you got the resume that I mailed you last week and wanted to see if there is anything that I can do for you. That's all I'm doing. Now, Evie, if this is a first conversation that I'm having with you, it's Evie, by the way, I'm a real estate agent. And I like to keep my friends and family members updated on the market. And I was just curious if you knew of anybody that was looking to buy or sell a home. Do you have a real estate agent that you would refer them to? Now, the actual script that is in the book is the new to real estate conversation. In other words, I am calling to share some exciting news with you. I am working as a realtor with Keller Williams, and I was wondering if you could do me a favor. So it's the new to real estate conversation. Again, don't overthink this. The main purpose of this 8x8 is to create top of mind. So when they think of real estate, they think of you. It can be a very short call. Jonathan, John Dietz, following up as promised, just wanted to see if you got the resume I emailed you last week. I wanted to see if you had any questions for me today, or is there anything that I can do for you? And Jonathan's response is, no, I'm good. Everything is great. And that's the end of the conversation. That's okay. If you get a voicemail, leave a message. This is Hervé, following up as promised. Just wanted to make sure you got the resume I sent you last week and wanted to see if there's anything I can do for you. If there is, I'm always just a phone call away. You can reach me at 954-555-5555, whatever. Super crystal clear, right? All right. Week number 3, mail them a personal note. This is a handwritten personal note. Use a Sharpie marker. It'll take up more room in the card, especially for you that write small. You won't feel like you need to fill up the card. And what should the card say? Thank you for spending time with me on the phone last week. Or thank you for taking my call. I enjoyed our conversation and I'm looking forward to hopefully working with you in the future. Make it a great day. Sign your name. It doesn't have to say, you don't have to write them a book. You don't have to write them several paragraphs. I enjoyed speaking with you. Thank you for taking time out of your day to speak with me. I would love to earn the opportunity to be your agent. If there is anything you need, I'm just a phone call away. Make it a great day. Sign your name. Now it's 3 weeks and they've got a resume from you, a phone call from you, and a personal note. You're starting to create top of mind. Eileenie, when they think of real estate, they think of you. Week 4, email them the neighborhood nurture. Right from command. You can email them a market update. You can physically go into the MLS and pull how many properties are currently on the market in their neighborhood. How many homes have sold in their neighborhood in the last 12 months? You can send them a list of the properties. Here's a list of the properties that have sold in your neighborhood in the last 12 months. The average days on market in your neighborhood is blank. The average sales price for homes in your neighborhood is blank. Now, this is really valuable information, something that you are adding value and something that they're going to want to hold on to. Guys, I hope I'm going slow enough on this and I'm going deep enough on this for everybody who wants a high C presentation. Just for you, just so you know, for me, a high D, I feel like I'm moving like a snail. So this is really painful for me to go this slow, but I'm yeah, right. But at the same time, I see a lot of people taking notes. So that tells me this is what you want, right? And if you're a high D and you're like, oh my gosh, John, just chill, because the high C's need this. Clarissa.
So I love trends graphics because I get that information and walk around with it for door knocking. But lore, I know when you give your information in the weekly team meetings, you have lore information. Will you share that? I mean, I know you don't like to, but I mean, I know you've shared it when I've asked, but is this something that I just have to keep coming to you saying, hey, John, can I have that information for?
Well, no, you're supposed to get it. So what Clarissa was asking about was once a month at our team meetings, I share a lore report with you. Now, our lore report is tracking 8 metrics. It's tracking units closed volume, listings taken volume, listings sold volume, contracts written volume. Now it's tracking those 8 metrics year over year. It's tracking those 8 metrics for the MLS, which means the market, all of the other brokers, and it's also tracking those numbers for Keller Williams Coral Springs. And if you're not a part of Keller Williams Coral Springs, you can do a lore report for your market center, your office. You could actually do a lore report for you. And what you're looking for is year over year changes, either growth or the numbers are down. And what I want to use that information for you guys is I want you to be able to show your customers that you're outperforming the market. For example, one of the numbers that we look at real close is listings sold. If you have a home that you're interested in selling, do you think listings sold is a number that's important to you?
Yes.
Say yes. Yeah. And if I can show you, Hervé, that the market year over year is down 10% for listings sold, and my office is up 30% year over year for listings sold, I'm outperforming the market by 40%. Translated, you have a 40% greater chance of selling your home if you hire me than you do if you hire anybody else. Now, there's part of the value that's in the lore. Now, you're not going to just send them the report that I share with you in the team meetings. You take that information and create a marketing flyer using that information, right? That's actually in command. There's actually a tool where you can go in and use lore numbers to create marketing materials that you can send to your customers. Did that help?
Yeah, that's why, and that's why I'm asking, because with productivity, John showed everybody where it is.
Yeah.
In command, and you just need the numbers.
And if you're not getting the numbers, thank you for saying that because I forgot. If you're not getting those numbers, just remind Brittany to send those out because they're supposed to go out every Wednesday. Let me take that back. Every time we share a lore report in the team meeting, those slides should go out in an email later that day. If you didn't get them, just ask. Okay. All right. Week 5. Make a call. So you've called twice now. The call is simple, Juanita. Hey, Juanita, John Dietz, Keller Williams Realty, following up as promised. Just wanted to make sure you got the market update I sent you last week. And I wanted to see if you had any questions. Is there anything I can do for you today? That's it. Now, you could talk about friends, family, occupation, recreation, dreams. In other words, you can have a Ford conversation with them, and that's fine. Just remember, if you're talking to a high D, it's going to be a short conversation. If you're talking to a high I, if you're calling Vicky, you might be on the phone with them for 30 minutes. Sorry, Vicky. About 100% true, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right, week 6. Email or snail mail your newsletter. Create a newsletter in Command. This is about you. This is more personal than it is business. This is also about community, what's going on in the community. Make it interesting. Make it something that they would want to hang on to. School holidays, for example. If there's an event coming to your community, talk about that event. If there's a local business that you want to highlight in your newsletter, like Lady in the Mug, great coffee shop right here in Coral Springs, highlight them in your newsletter. You're providing value, something that they want to hold on to. And the entire time, you're building market share in their mind. When they think of real estate, they think of you. You could also send out a golden letter week 6 as well. And a golden letter is simply the market is hot. There's lots and lots of buyers looking for great homes. There's very few homes that are available. Prices that are an all-time high. And if you happen to know of anybody that's thinking of selling their home, give me a call. It's a very short version of the golden letter. All right, golden letter is available online. Just Google it. All right, week 7, mail another personal note. Again, use a Sharpie. Thank you for taking time out of your day to speak with me. I enjoyed our conversation. I'm looking forward to the opportunity of working with you in the future. Now, you can come up with your own tag that you use for personal notes. If everybody uses what I just used and somebody's getting 3 personal notes, it all has the same message. So you might want to personalize a little bit, but it doesn't need to be a paragraph. It just needs to be a short, quick message. Hey, I thought about you. I appreciate you. I want to earn the opportunity to work with you. I am a human being that cares about people, and I took time to handwrite and mail you a personal note. All right, week 8, make a call. The goal of the call is, Clarissa, it's been 8 weeks since you and I first met, and I've really enjoyed getting to know you, and I would love to earn the opportunity to be your agent. I'm just curious if you knew if somebody was going to buy or sell a home, or if you were thinking of buying or selling, would you possibly work with me?
Absolutely.
All right. Now, when I get yes, Clarissa moves from that new Met into my sphere of influence. Now she's on a 36 touch. And 36 touch, 12 emails. It could be 24 emails if you're going to send out the neighborhood nurture twice a month. That's a smart plan that lives in Command, bi-monthly neighborhood nurture. Or it could be just 12. If you don't want to bury them in emails, send 12 emails. That's it. 12 text messages. That can also be set up in Command, so it's automatic. It's set it and forget it. Technology is working for you. 4 holiday cards. This is snail mail. This can also be birthday cards, anniversary cards. It can be a combination of all of the above, but you're sending 6 cards to their home every year. It's about celebrating the holiday. It's about celebrating them. It's not, hey, by the way, I'm a real estate agent. It should not have your brand, your logo anywhere. This is a generic holiday card, a generic birthday card, a generic anniversary card. And yes, you're going to sign it. And yeah, you can include a business card in the card when you send it. That's fine, but this should not be about business. 2 pop buys, or let's meet for coffee. This is intentional. You're popping by. Luis, I'm going to be in your neighborhood next week, and I'd love to just pop by and say, hi, are you going to be home Thursday? Cool. I'll see you in the afternoon, 5 minutes, just going to pop by. This is just a pop by to get face-to-face and have a forward conversation face-to-face versus a phone call. Or it's, Anna, let's meet for coffee. I can meet you at Lady in the Mug. Would Thursday at 3 be okay with you, or Friday at 1 better? So you're going to meet and have coffee and talk. You're building a relationship. And now you're making 4 calls every year, 1 per quarter. These are care calls, not sales calls. You're following the Ford model of communication. They know you're a real estate agent. You don't have to ask for referrals. Now, the goal is move your habit Mets into your database as a Met, move them into your sphere of influence. And the goal is to make this as big as you could possibly make it. Now you've got, orange is not a good color for the screen. You've got 500 people on a 36 touch. And this is a top of the funnel conversation. I've got 500 people that I'm building relationships with. And we know statistically, over the last 2 years, 7% of our population moves every year, which means 7% of your 500 is going to move. And when you've created top of mind, so that when they think of real estate, they think of you, and you're adding value, you're checking in, you're talking to them every month, you're communicating with them 36 times a year through emails, snail mails, cards, personal notes, and phone calls. You're building a relationship. Hervé, when I've done that at a high level and you're one of my 500 and you get a job transfer and you need to put your home on the market, is there a good chance that you're going to think about me and I'm going to be one of the agents or the agent that you call? Hey, John, I need to put my home on the market. Yes, yes, and yes. And what's the return? Well, it should be 35 sales minimum. Powerful. Now, if I don't want to do a 36 touch, fine. If I have a group of people who live in my sphere of influence who I'm super close with, let's just call them A, B's, and C's. So you're in my sphere of influence, you're an A. You're in my sphere of influence, you're a B. You're in my sphere of influence and you're a C. A's, I know they like me and I know they would work with me. B's, I know they like me and I think they would work with me. C's, I'm not sure if they even like me. I know them, but I don't even know if I'm not sure they even like me. Okay, fine. 36 touch your A's, 16 touch your B's, 12 touch your C's. All right, it's 9:35. So, yeah, right? Okay. Kim, you got your hand up. Talk to me.
I have 2 questions. One, is there any harm in doing the 36 touch with the B's and C's?
Not at all.
Okay.
You can't overdo this.
Okay. Thank you. I have to remind myself of that every day. And 2, the 8x8, I have not been great at. I'm pretty good with the 36 touch. But honestly, I just didn't know what to do other than call people. So that was really helpful for me. Thank you. Even though I've read it and seen it 100 times, it just clicked. So is there any harm in going back through the people that I really haven't done the 8x8 with and do it now?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. You could 8x8 your entire database, right? I don't know if you should. It depends on how many people are in there. Karen, Kim, but there's no harm in that whatsoever, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of my database is, people I've called, FISBOs and expires and circle prospect because I'm still relatively new here. So.
Yeah. But doing this is like doing everything else. In other words, time on task over time equals mastery, right? Well, time on task with executing an 8x8 the right way, over time, you're going to get really good at this. And you started by saying, I haven't been really good at this. Okay, so the way you get really good at this is by doing it. Practice it. Pick family members. Say, hey, I'm going to communicate with you 8 times in the next 8 weeks. Let's see how this goes. Right? I'm 100% serious. Cool. All right, I know there were a couple more hands up. I don't know if they went down because I don't see them any longer. Michael Topo's hand is up. Talk to me, Michael.
Hey, John and
Could be-
Kim.
I was just
Kim,
gonna say yes.
Hey, Kim, I just wanted to share. So we ran into that too, where Mike has a number of people in his database where he's done quarterly calls over time. So our approach is going to be the next time he does a quarterly call with that person, we're going to set them up on an 8x8 at that point, and then put them into a long-term nurture, just so we're not blasting them weekly if we haven't talked to them for a little bit. So that's the approach, if that helps you.
That does. Thank you. That's a lot less overwhelming too.
Love Jess. Great job, Jess. Thank you. Brian, I'm positive your hand was up. And if it's not up, I'm sure you're still, just talk to me.
No, I put it down, but thank you for sharing.
Was that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh my gosh, what's the date? It's January 20th, 2022. Brian didn't have a question. Write it down.
Oh, he has questions.
Write it down and write it down. Brian, I love
So
you.
that means that you did a heck of a job
I
there.
must have. So, guys, I got to tell you, for a high D, that was so painful. And I probably still went too fast, didn't I? Jess is clapping, so I know that I did good.
Thank you, John. Thank you. I needed that for my high C. Thank you.
Okay. Whew, it hurt.
After city, Bill Hobbs last.
Yeah.
That was fast, nowhere near fast.
Oh, really? Bill, yeah.
He's my fine goes like this, I catch. As he's talking, catch it.
I hear you. All right, guys. Good work to everybody in the room and everybody on Zoom. There's 30 plus of us again. So honored to be a part of this group, by the way. Coming up on 2 years, hard to believe, right? If you're going to family reunion, please let me know you're going to be there, because I would like to get together with you in Orlando. So just between now and the middle of February, let me know you're going to be there.
I'll be there, John.
Good. And if there's enough of us, we'll get together and we'll have a little Survive to Thrive cocktail party. Except for you, Aaron, you're not old enough. All right, time to get to work. Aaron says he's going to have his own party. I'll be in bed by that time. All right, time to get to work. What's work? Work is 20 conversations. Not 19, not 18, not 17. If you have 17 conversations and you stop or you settle because you came close, you didn't have the 18th conversation, which could have been $1 million listing that you didn't get because you didn't have the conversation. Simple as that. Make care calls, not sale calls. Always lead with gratitude, bring value to every single conversation. Focus on building a relationship. Focus on getting an appointment, getting a referral, and adding somebody new to your database. Find somebody today that is thinking of selling their home. Whether it's 30 days from now, 60 days from now, or a year from now, doesn't matter, because you're looking for opportunity, period, not just opportunity right now. Meet with somebody today that is thinking of selling their home. It's a standard. Now, when you live up to that standard, you will have met with 250 people over the next 12 months, because you're working 50 weeks, 5 days a week. and you're taking 2 weeks off for vacation. So it's 250 opportunities in your pipeline. Now, because you follow up forever, because you reject rejection, because no is not a word that lives in your vocabulary. No simply means not yet. Remember, people will never change their mind, but they will make a new decision based on new information. Clarissa, coming to you. So when Clarissa follows up with me forever, she's creating emotional proximity, which simply means that when I get serious about selling my home, I'm going to look for the person who is closest to me at the time. Simple, emotional proximity. And because she's created that emotional proximity, when it's time for me to make a new decision based on new information, that new decision will be to
Hire me.
There you go. All right, Michael, I see your hand. Let me just jump off live stream and stop the record. And I am